everybody knows that the slanted eyes of the Asians come from those migrants, Khoi migrants who left Africa.
Right.
In all of your research that you've been doing here on the Khoi son, did that topic come up?
It didn't at all. It didn't. But a lot of the Europeans, that's why I say it's disappointing, because it's about confinement. So what they did was, I think, matter of fact, it came up one time, but they said it's speculative.
It's not speculative.
And what they did was
beyond a shadow of a doubt.
they used the word pseudo. They said anyone who uses that to connect the Khoisan with ancient Asians are, as they call, African pseudo scholar. This is from, I forgot which one it was, but this is on an archaeologist's website. Basically, we're calling them, what's the word that they use for John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben? Pro-black pseudo or something like that. They call anyone who uses that is pro-black pseudo scholars. That's why I always say, be really careful when you use the word pseudo scholar, because whites, that comes from white European archaeologists, because they can say they've been doing that for everything. Anything that we say is black, even on DNA, that's pseudo. But it didn't, because the one time I looked it up, and it was like, it was all, they said anyone who says it is speculative and there's no real proof. That's what they said. But matter of fact, it's funny, and this is me speculating, that if you look into Malaysia and you go into what's called the Batek group, they favor actually the Khoisan that go back even further. Like, because as you can see, European colonialism, they begin mixing in with the women, so their African features are basically getting thinner. But if you take the Batek and you look at the ancient Khoisan pictures, they're very much like you can literally line them up together.
And everything points to them. DNA points to them, and then, some of y'all probably know, like in southern Asia, right now you have the Chinese people with melanin and slanted eyes. You see the slanted eyes with the original Native Americans who came from where? Asia.
Right. And the fourth thing I noticed too is that the ancient Asians that are African and are black, they force them in really small pockets of that continent, because it's crazy. It's like you gotta look at what they do. Whenever there's black people, they force them in small areas. Because I know where you are, so whenever I need to get rid of you, I can go right here. That's the same thing. You can go into Asia right now, and you see Africans, they're in small areas. They're not, the lighter ones are the ones you see all over the place, but you have to go deep, even almost in caves, and find the Africans that are of Asian descent. A lot of them were already there, and some of them migrated well over 60 to 100,000 years ago as well. No questions? None?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a question, I just have a statement. I just find it funny that they would call Africans who claim that the Khoisan, originated the modern Asians, because when I think it was a scientist, he was trying to trace himself back using a DNA test, and he found African origins in there. So I find that those two, ideals are conflicting. It's just crazy.
I mean, it's the same thing as if, like, for them, they see it like, that's like me finding someone who looks like me, and I can say, well, we gotta be related. That's how they see what we're doing. Even with the carbon dated evidence, they're like, no, that's African pseudo scholarship. Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what I mean by confining a group. We can if I cut them off from this group over here, then I can lessen the numbers. This is what they've been doing to us all over the place. Is that it?
All right, let's give Brother Ali another hand. All right, so again, if you haven't paid the $10, put it in the basket. Here next week on Sunday, we'll be meeting at the exact same time, and on November 6th, and I'll be delivering the message that day, and it will be righteous rebellion focus of my presentation will be looking at the, just the usage of spirituality and religion and the uprisings and rebellions that happened during slavery. So of course we want to talk about Nat Turner, because that's, you know, that rebellion was divinely inspired. So there were many other uprisings, like in Brazil. There's a nation in Brazil called Palmares that existed. So many different rebellions. You would not notice if you just pay attention to the slave movies, but rebellion after rebellion, and nearly every single one of them had some African spiritual inspiration. You look at Gabriel Prosser, you look at Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, the uprisings in New York, the Stono Rebellion. You look at all of them, African spiritual influence brought about all of those rebellions. So it's interesting how it was, right? Because on the plantation you had those who went to church with the whites, or those who promoted that slave perspective. Then you have a whole underground army of people practicing African spirituality, looking to bring down the rebellion. So that's what the focus of my presentation will be this upcoming Sunday. So please make it out if you can. Brother Ali has some DVDs over there. Brother, why don't you go over and just show them to us and tell us a little bit about what you have over there.
All right. I have right here Rex 84. This goes into the King Alfred Plan, Readiness Exercise 84. It breaks down from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 on martial law. Also go into parts on heart and, you know, red dot, blue dot, pink dot, the different codifications of how they were human beings and martial law and everything. And so this is very important to get prepared what's going on right now. The Secret Covenant, which is, as you can see, Rockefeller and Rothschild on the cover, basically goes into the origins of the Illuminati, what the Illuminati paid for, the different black movements that they paid for, the different, it goes into what we want to call the Secret Covenant, because basically quoted from a white man who left the Blue Bloods or Illuminati and basically went to their plan on how to exterminate black people. So that's the main purpose of this. And of course I did a recording of something just like this about a year ago. It was a conference call, but I muted myself and just built for about 40 minutes and just had pretty much the same information, but a little more here. So this one I did for 7 because it's a CD. So it's, of course, South Africa.
All right, that's good. So y'all get a copy of each one. Be good. Okay, so we're gonna, is there anything else that we want to mention? No. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close this out.